Wanuxi.
Hello, my name is James Norris. I'm a senior game designer on The Division 2, and I've traditionally worked on post-launch features for The Division 1. I started working with Ubisoft about 2 years ago, so any of the post-launch features that you're familiar with in The Division 1 I worked on, and a bunch of stuff that I can't really talk about yet is what I'm working on right now. But I'm here to talk to you about The Division 2 today. We have no plans on doing a Battle Royale mode at the moment, but there are some significant changes that we have made to the Dark Zone. For example, there's going to be 3 Dark Zones now instead of 1. And we've also, we listened to the community, and there was a lot of feedback regarding fair play and fairness and toxicity in the Dark Zone as well. We've made some adjustments to help with that by normalizing the gear. So when you play in the Dark Zone now, the gear will be normalized, meaning everybody's sort of levels will be brought down to a similar area so that it's more of a fair play environment. However, if you were big fans of the Division 1 and you liked how the Dark Zone was, where if you had better gear, you would have an advantage, there will be an occupied Dark Zone as well that will change on a weekly basis where you can go and really get very, very competitive with PvP in the Dark Zone. I think it really goes to the player's own personal play style. I mean, obviously, if you're going to be in the front lines, maybe distraction and staying alive is your key component. Whereas the guy in the back lines, sharpshooting for you, you're going to want him to focus on high DPS. Aim is going to be much more important for him. But, you know, it's a third-person shooter game, so I would say that aim is very important for everybody. But the better and more cohesive you are within your own team, that's also going to help you out as well. Well, I think the Dark Zone was kind of a very unique concept when the Division 1 came out. You're this division agent, you're walking around in the most dangerous territory of the game, and you never know if somebody's going to be your friend or your ally. And we've sort of upgraded that system by having different levels of rogue status now. And the key here is to add tension to an already tense environment. So you can go through and you can be sort of an honorable player in the Dark Zone and never do anything wrong. Or if you want to have a little bit of an advantage, you could maybe steal a locked chest, or somebody might have died and you could go up and take their loot off of the ground. But all of these things are going to have consequences, and we feel that this adds to the rich sort of tension that the Dark Zone is supposed to bring. So as you build up your rogue status, there's 2 different ways you can do it. If you steal someone's loot, or if you take somebody's chest, you'll go into a disavowed status. And that means that your name will go gray, and you can be killed, you can be shot, but you'll also be able to go into a thieves' den to sort of reset that status. And that's going to give you a bonus. You know, you'll get rewarded for that. When you go full rogue, as you know, you turn red. Everybody knows that you're a rogue. The more you kill, the manhunt status triggers. There's different stations around the Dark Zone now where you can go as a manhunt rogue, interact with it, and take away your manhunt status. Or you can bank your manhunt status and increase your rewards, basically. So if you go around to all of these different stations, you make your rewards bigger and bigger, but there's a higher likelihood that you're going to get caught and killed. And if you do, you will lose all of that XP. You now have passive abilities that you gain for leveling up in the DZ. And if you go past a certain point and you're given a new passive, but then you're killed and you lose experience, you'll lose that passive. You can gain these ranks a lot faster by going manhunt, but there's also a higher risk that you will then lose experience and lose those new abilities that you've just gained. All we can say about the raid, unfortunately, today is that it is a franchise first. For PvP, I mean, the Dark Zones, you'll allow to have 12 people in each Dark Zone. So depending on how, who becomes rogue, who doesn't become rogue, there's a chance for some very good battles in the Dark Zones. We've made them smaller to increase the possibilities of coming across people. In the first one, sometimes you would run for a very, very long time. You wouldn't see anybody. So we've listened to the community and the feedback and decided to make them a bit smaller so that there's a higher possibility of running into other players. As far as different PvP modes, for now, it's a 4v4. Well, yes, there's 3 brand new factions in the Division 2, the Outcast, the Hyenas, and the True Sons, and all of them come with their own sort of specific strengths and weaknesses. So I think you will find that the AI has been improved. We're constantly working on better ways to engage the player. And with the new set of skills that Division agents have to use against them as well, there's going to be new challenges for all players that enjoy the Division 1. The True Sons are kind of ex-JTF, sort of paramilitary or ex-police members, and they want to establish a new government. They feel that they're the strongest faction and that they should be the ones to take over Washington, D.C. The people that were there to protect the civilians turned on them and now feel that they are the best people to be in charge. So the hyenas are they're a bit crazy. You know, they kill people for fun. They're a bit insane and they're just a bit psychotic. And the outcasts they were all placed on an island when the virus first hit Washington, D.C., and they all were mistreated. Like, it was a bad idea to begin with. Nobody should have put the outcasts there. From within the group of people who had been infected and some who survived, they formed this group that are hell-bent on revenge. They want the world to pay for what happened to them. They want to infect everybody with the virus. So we've done a lot of work to optimize the Snowdrop engine, and we're always making improvements on that. So whether you're playing on PlayStation, Xbox, or on PC, the game has been optimized to ensure that there's a constant frame rate. And certainly on the PC, you can decide what your rig is best suited for, and you can change the settings to ensure that you get the best possible frame rate. There is no frame rate cap in the Division 2. You can raise it as high as your PC will allow it to go. We've definitely listened to the community in this area, and we've made improvements to our own in-house cheat detection. One of the main ways we've done this is we've moved a lot of processes onto the server side so that there's less happening on the client now. So that means there's less possibility for data modification. And of course, as the game is released, we'll keep a close watch on what's going on, and we're going to be constantly making sure that we are addressing these concerns. We've taken great steps to beef up our infrastructure, both at Ubisoft, and I believe we are also working with some third-party companies to ensure server stability. It's something that we take great pride in, is to ensure that we give the best possible experience to players. So we've been working hard to make sure that the Division 2 will be more stable than the Division 1. Well, I guess what I can say is there's a couple of different things that will make that less of an issue. I assume you're referring to like PvP and when playing against other players. So the normalization of the dark zone is going to help with regard to that, because it's going to be a more balanced fight anyway from the get-go. I can't specifically speak to nerfs or buffs. We've got to wait and see what happens and see sort of what trends players are going to be taking, which gun is going to be the best gun. We may have a pretty good idea of what that's going to be, but until we see players actually get in and start getting in fights with each other, we'll take a look. We're going to pay close attention. So if we start to hear the community say, there's a problem here, you guys should take a look at it, we will take a look at it. We're collecting lots of data. We've got lots of information, and we'll make sure that if something is imbalanced, that we will fix it. This is a brand new thing for the Division, and it's an endgame feature. So all the way up to level 30, you've got new skills, new weapons, new gear, new mods to work with, which is going to give you lots of build diversity to begin with. Then you hit level 30 and you can unlock the new specializations. So the ones that you've played today are the sharpshooter, which gives you a 50 caliber sniper rifle, which is a good sort of weapon for pulling enemies out of cover. And then the sharpshooter, which is a one-shot sort of massive damage, really good against large NPCs or massive threats. And even within those specialization systems, you'll be able to customize and choose different skills and perks that best suit your play style. So with all the new skills, all the new gear, then on top of that, the specializations, we think there's going to be even more build diversity and sort of speccing the way that players want to in the Division 2. Toxicity was a big concern in the first division, and we listened. So we're going to be disabling VoIP for the nearby players, because a lot of that toxicity came from someone would kill you, they would say something maybe about a relative or something like that. And so we didn't want that to be an issue. Obviously, you'll still be able to group up with your friends and speak with them, but no more toxic voice chat is going to be in the division. We will. You'll be able to have a clan of 50 players, but all 4 of your characters will also be allowed in that clan. So that's a total of 200 clan members. You'll be able to easily find a group with anyone who's in your clan. There will be a special clan sort of reward system as well that will give you more customization within your clan. So it's something we're really excited to offer in the Division 2. Yeah, account bound. So if you're in a clan, all of the characters in that account will be in that clan. No, so we're not going to have any crossover from the first game, apart from some of the rewards in the Division Shields program that you'll be able to unlock in the Division 2, but these will be new things. We do have vanity, we do have skins, but it's different to the Division 2. Obviously, in the Division 1, it was the winter time. In the Division 2, it's summer, it's hot. You don't want to be wearing a winter coat running around the hot streets of DC. You'd be sweating bullets, probably get in your eyes. You wouldn't be able to shoot properly, you know, so we won't be carrying over skins from the first game. Probably not, but for like example, for in PvP, if you are an honorable division agent, you're not visible on the map to other division agents. So if you're going rogue hunting, you're going to have a big advantage against a rogue, whereas a rogue will obviously be on the map. It's manhunt, you know where they are, you can go and find them. You can get quite close to the NPCs without them noticing that you're there, to set up, to get ready to start your assault. You know, it's all about how players play. It's all about setting up your attack, getting ready, coordinating with your team. We're expanding on the universe of the Division. You know, the first one, it set the tone. It was the winter time. It had its own feel to the game. And 7 months later, we're in Washington, D.C., which is like the seat of power in the world. Pretty big deal that Washington, D.C. is sort of crumbling. You know, people look, it's like things could happen in New York, but not Washington, D.C. You know, that would be terrible. People have desecrated monuments that have been standing in America for a very, very long time. And now it's up to you, the Division agent, to band together with other agents, as well as civilian population that's around in the world. Everything you do will have an immediate effect on the world that you're playing in. So new skills, new toys, same Division agent. We still need you. And I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. March 15th, it releases worldwide. And we look forward to having you play. I'm a longtime fan of the Division 1, and I remember I took a long break from when it first came out to when it to nowadays, and I started to see more Asian players playing in the Division, which I think is really great. And if you ever see Supernose in game, you better watch out, because that's me, and I'm coming to get you.
想要即时获取免费游戏的消息，只要在专业的 Following 里选择 CFIRST， 并订阅我们的 YouTube 频道，打开铃铛，你就不会错过任何最新资讯啦。